Sharps and Flats with Kingsley, you want to be in tune because you want to sound like this. And you definitely do not want to sound like this. I'm going to be showing you some online tuners, but this is the tuner that I have used for decades, and it is a tuner and metronome in one. You can play with your metronome, which everyone should have one. I strongly encourage. This is the Korg TM50. You can get any one that you want, but I encourage you to get this one. If you can blow a strong note and make this needle go straight up and down, and hold that needle the steady as possible, you are going to be in tune with me, and it's going to be so much more fun and enjoyable as we play together. As you can see here, I just Googled Google Tuner online, and it brings this up. There's one online, but again, I strongly encourage you to have a handheld one that also has a metronome with it. It's a great tool to have. I'm going to use this one on screen today to demonstrate for you so you can see it really clearly. If I'm an instrument, no matter what instrument you pull out, play a long tone for 10 seconds just to get warm, to get that instrument warm enough so that it's, did you know that the warmer your instrument is, the sharper it gets to a point. Once it's warm, it stays there. So watch the screen. I'm going to play a B flat on this flute. And you can see it's in the red. It's really, really flat. Now, as a flute player, I can push in. Actually, did you know on every instrument, if you are flat, you push in. If you're sharp, you pull out. Remember that rule. Flat, push in, sharp, pull out. Whether it's a flute, pushing in or pulling out, a saxophone or clarinet mouthpiece, or a tuning slide on the trumpet, baritone or trombone or tuba, that is what you do. If you're sharp, if your needle is to the right, then you are sharp, pull out. If your needle is to the left, you're flat, push in. And by needle on the screen here, there is no needle. You just see colors going left and right. Let me try the B flat again. So you can see I'm a little to the right. I'm a little sharp, so I'm going to pull out a little bit. Let's see what happens. Now I'm a little to the left. Now I'm going to try to make it go right in the middle. In fact, I'm going to experiment with my flute. I'm going to roll in and out to try. There it was. I got it to go green. Now, if you can hold it green for 10 seconds, and if you do it every day, you'll get to where you just can. You can do it. That is going to make life so much more enjoyable, whether you play in band or with playing in duets, or you're playing with me in Sharps and Flats with Kingsley. You want to have your needle more up in tune so that you can sound more like this. And so you don't sound like this. This here is called the Bandmade Chromatic Tuner. It's free app online. If you go to the App Store, you can put it on your phone or on your computer. And one thing that I really like about this app is you just plug in the name of your instrument and it tells you what note you're playing. So as you can see on the screen right now, it says trumpet right there, and this would be if the trumpet was playing a G. But do you know this note would change if the trumpet decided to play a low C? Any note, it will tell you what note you're playing, and that can be a very valuable thing for brass players, especially in the beginning. If you're unsure of what note you're playing, for example, which note is which? Which one is a low C, which is a high C, and which one is G? Now, experienced players, you're good to go on all that. But beginners might have a problem, and a Bandmade Chromatic Tuner is excellent for helping you to do that. It's also a tuner, so play a long note and try to make that needle. And when I say needle, I mean this needle right here. Try to make that needle stay right in the middle the best you can for 10 seconds. If you can keep it in between these two hash marks there, that is great. Now remember, just watch my screen here. If this needle is to the left, that means you are flat and you need to push in your tuning slide. You need to make your instrument shorter to make it a little higher to come into tune. Now, the other way is if the needle is over here, that means you are sharp. That means you are too high and you need to make your instrument a little lower to come into tune. Or you need to pull your tuning slide out, or you pull your mouthpiece out. So if you can just understand the concept that the shorter your instrument, the higher it is, and the longer your instrument, the lower it is. That is really important. So if the needle is low, you need to make your instrument shorter. If the needle is high, you need to make your instrument longer. Now, one other thing to throw out there is that on every instrument, just because you play one note in tune, it doesn't mean the other notes are in tune. Every note can have its specific tendencies, but if you will tune just to a concert B flat, or if you know what a concert F is, or a concert A, or pick any note and try to tune them, and just figure out what notes on your instrument go really sharp or go really flat. For example, on saxophones, a D, just automatically the needle will shoot sharp, and there's no way to fix that except with your jaw and your embouchure. Okay, so every instrument has its specific ways that with your embouchure that you can raise and lower the pitch as well. Let's say you're on a trombone or a trumpet or a brass instrument of any kind, and you're not sure which note you're playing. Am I playing the low B flat or the high? Am I playing a C or a G? Which one is it? Well, you can play, I'm just using trumpet for example, and it told you what note you're playing. Now that can be really valuable for a really new beginner on a brass instrument. So here is a low C on the trumpet. Here's a G. And then a higher C. And my whole goal is to keep that needle right in the middle the whole time. Something else to be sure of too is as you play your instrument, you will get sharper and sharper. So as the instrument warms up, the pitch rises to a point, and once it's warmed, then it stays there. So you want to play your instrument for at least a minute or two, and long tones, 20-second long notes are a great way to get warmed up. And do it with your tuner and try to make that needle stay straight up and down the whole time you're playing it. For example, if I was going to pull out the flute and play an F, I would go like this. Ooh, I'm kind of out of breath. So I could see I was a little flat as I was looking at my tuner. I'm going to push it in a little bit. Now I'm going to try to hold this for 10 seconds. Woo! That's going to build your endurance as you do that. And so again, on every brass instrument, you have tuning slides that can pull out and push in. And as you pull out, they go flatter. As you push in, they go sharper. In other words, as you pull out, it goes da, and as you push in, it goes da. So it just makes sense that when you first play your tuning note like this, if the needle is to the left, it's flat. You need to push in to go up. Listen to the sound right now. I'm going to pull this tuning slide all the way out. Now listen to what happens as I push it in. Did you hear the note getting higher and higher and higher? That's what you're doing when you push any tuning slide on any instrument in or out. Or your trombone, the tuning slide. Mouthpieces on flutes and clarinets. Oboe, your double reed, pushing it in and out, okay? You can also, with your instrument, make the needle go down and up by using your embouchure. And now I'm just going to give you some general principles. In general, brass instruments, if inside your mouth you say E, O, E, that needle will go up and down. Well, go down and up. E is high and O is low. E, O, E. So experiment with that. Play a tuning note, just hold a long note, and in your mouth go E, O, E, and watch the needle move around. Flutes, you can roll out and roll in with your hands. Rolling out will make the needle go up, and rolling in will make the needle go down. Now, for oboe, you have different set of issues, and double reeds, bassoon, you do as well. So I encourage you to explore how to make your instrument go up and down. Experiment with it. Play one long note and make it go up and down by trying different things with your embouchure. YouTube for your specific instrument, like for clarinet. How do I tune my clarinet? You're going to find myriad examples out there of professionals who can show you how to do that with your instrument. If you want to ask me specifically, send me a message. There's contact Kingsley all over the website. Send me a message. I'd love to answer it. Maybe I'll make a blog post and answer it that way. That way everybody can benefit from your question. Your goal each day before you start Sharps and Flats with Kingsley is to be able to play a note in tune for 10 seconds. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. Now, you might see your needle bouncing around up and down like this. And the key to getting over that is having good, strong breath, strong air. Take 3 sips and blow with good pressure. There we go. If you do that, you're going to have your needle more up and down. You're going to be more in tune, and that is going to make you feel so much better when you're playing along with anybody. Whether you're in a band or playing a duet with a friend or you're playing in Sharps and Flats with Kingsley, it's going to make it so much more enjoyable, and it's going to make your embouchure and your muscles stronger. Go for it, everyone. So whether you have your own handheld chromatic tuner like this, or you use an online tuner like this one on the screen, just a Google tuner, or you have your own, you've gotten this for your phone or your computer, whatever you use, and you're using the Bandmade chromatic tuner, no matter what you use, your goal is to, when you first get your instrument out, play several long tones as long as you can and try to make that note and tone sound as steady and straight as you can. Take 3 sips of air and then blow. Something I like to do in Sharps and Flats is called blow pop. I take 3 sips of air and I blow against my hand like this. Did you hear that pop? That pop came because I was pushing so much pressure. Now, when you play most all of your instruments, there's a couple that you won't do this with, but you're going to play with that intense pressure. Crunch those stomach muscles and put a lot of pressure and try to play a 20-second long tone. Okay, and then before you move on, use your chromatic tuner, handheld or whichever one you're using, and see if you can get one note to be straight up and down for 10 seconds. That is your goal. And I encourage you to use a definitely tune to a concert B flat. There are some other notes that are good to tune to, but tune to a concert B flat. Go to the resources page to understand what a concert B flat is. I have a good little video there on it. I'll show a quick thing on the screen here just so you can kind of get an idea if you can kind of make sense of it. So, but there you go. Go for it, everyone. Make sure you have good tuning and tune up before you do Sharps and Flats.